Good morning. How y'all doing? It is bright and early. I want to make this video explaining the season I'm in right now in life. I see people talking about an isolation season, and I'm like, well, how do you know when you're there? And I'm here to tell somebody, you will know. You will know. It's you can't deny an isolation season. Um, the thing is with me, I didn't realize at first that this was the season that I was in. So it's like I was trying to, you know, do any and everything not to feel isolated. Okay? Until it started clicking like God got you here for a reason. Let me go back to when this isolation started. So y'all might remember a couple of videos where uh I think probably like around Christmas or I don't know. December or January. Y'all remember my daughter I was having all the trouble with last year. She ended up coming back home and uh it was still the same old, same old. But then, if y'all remember clearly, the last time y'all seen um, Sakaya on the video with me, we were at the mall. I was buying her the Disney collaboration that had just came out. If y'all remember back. So I get a text maybe like a day or two after that video, like, well, I'm not coming home. Okay. And I was like, this is where I was at mentally. Well, I didn't say it, but I thought it. You know, like, well, Lord, if you knew she was gonna do this, why you just didn't let it all happen at the same time? Because now it had opened up the hurt from what the kids did last year. Now she's redoing it. Like, why you just didn't let it all happen? I didn't healed from last year. Now I got to deal with this year. This is where I was at. And I didn't understand how the people I have given my last, the people who I have taken such great care of, could inflict this kind of hurt to me, right? Stay with me. Hold on, y'all. I didn't understand why the marriage has never been right. Like, I was willing to give my all, you know, and that's why God had to isolate me from everything that I thought I needed to live. Now that's deep. God had to isolate me from everything I thought I needed to live. Don't sit there and be no fool and say God won't isolate you from kids. I'm living in it. I'm living in it. And that is why God isolated me from everyone. Because He know long as they were in the home and I was doing mother duties or, doing what it needs to run a house and do this and do that, I wouldn't be able to focus on him. I couldn't get to this place where I am right now in isolation if they were here. And at first, I had so many emotions. I had so many emotions. I didn't like. I didn't like to feel alone. Okay. Ms.Lina used to be scared to stay in the home by herself. I mean, I don't know. Y'all know I started parenting so early, so I don't know if it's because I've always had. I was a teenager mom, and up until 3, 4 months ago, I've always lived with someone. Not me moving in with them, but like my home, it consisted of kids. Like it consisted of a husband at one point. Like I've always had someone here. I always knew that I had the fear, had the fear of leaving alone. Would you say had past tense? Not no more. Yep. Yep. I had the fear of living alone. Uh, but God is faithful. So, at first, at first, I felt the isolation. So that scripture when it says don't go back to things that God have delivered you from, because the demons come. I can't put it word for word, but they come like stronger. Like what is how does that scripture go? Basically, like don't go, you know, doing things that you shouldn't be doing or that God have delivered you from. Don't pick those things up. Don't pick up new things because the devil comes 7 times stronger, 10 times stronger. I can't remember how it is in that word, but my Bible scholars, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And so my husband, I don't know why that still irritate me to say that, but legally I am still married, so oh well, it is what it is. But uh, you know, slots is something he does, he enjoys. So uh, I have been in there a couple of times with him. Never been like, ooh. For one, Ms.Lina love to shop. I love to see my money. I love to look good. I love to smell good. I love to feel. Baby, so the times I was going in there, my mindset was never to like uh hit big. Oh, I'm going literally when I would go in there with him, I would go just to go with him. I throw a 20 or something in there, but that's what that was. And yet still in all. Yet still in all, God kept me. God kept me, y'all. Because that ain't something you play with. Y'all don't ever gamble. But, uh, so now, well, all of 3, 4 months ago, I'm isolated. I feel alone. I don't like the feeling. I didn't understand it. I've never I've never been alone. And y'all do know I moved away from my family. We done moved away from home since what, 2015. So I have been with just me and my children. I wind up getting married. Cool. This is my family. So now to have the only family, my own personal family, stripped away, it felt unrealistic. Stay with me, y'all. So when Sakaya left the home, I told her, I said, I ain't gonna beg. Are you closer to grown than anything? You should be 17 years old this year. Lord, it's in your hand. It's in your hand. And like I said, mentally I was at a place like, well, Lord, why would you not just take them, like let it all happen last year? I could have healed, but that's not, God knew I needed somebody here to get through it. That part. So going through it all over again this year, guess what? I already knew God was gonna get me through it because He got me through the last, right? Stay with me. So y'all, I had began to go into the slot machines on my own. It was late night. You know, it was a dark, dark. Oh, that was so dark and ugly. Uh, and all up until today, honestly, I felt like God can't be nowhere near me. When does my time come? When is my woosah moment? You see what I'm saying? So I began to go into the slot machines on myself, but by myself. But that goes to show when you allow the wrong people in your life, people gonna either add value or subtract it. People either gonna uplift or pull down. Y'all better stop wanting to pick your own spouse. Let God pick them for you. And this not no shot. I'm being completely honest. Because this wasn't my lifestyle before him. I did that one. I went, baby, who finna go in there? Show you it still ain't my lifestyle. I'm not encouraging and I'm not bragging on it. Y'all, Ms.Lina going, I used to put $20 in. I'm doing the lowest bet. I'm being very honest. I'm not just get this machine all my money. Like, no. And y'all, if y'all have somebody struggling with those, a gambling addiction in your family, y'all keep them in prayer. Keep them covered because it's nobody but the grace of God that kept that that from consuming my entire being. Cause it's easy. And before you know it, I was going there for loneliness and it's a small intimate setting and people be there, you chit chat, you drink free sodas, you know. I think the noise of the machine as well was triggering to my ears, so I enjoyed hearing that. Especially when they would go off when somebody would win. You heard me say when somebody would win. That mean I never won. Well, hold on, I'm talking too fast. I used to tell myself like, girl, why you over these past couple of months, like, why are you're not winning? You literally just giving this place your money, right? So uh the death came. My son's grandmother. Uh and that shook my world upside down. I can't discredit her and just be like my son's grandmother, because that was my mama. Um, Me and her son was on and off since like high school. Uh, we did end up getting married. And even after the marriage failed, her and I were inseparable. Um, I told you I moved away from the family in 2015. My son was born in 2013, so uh, she came. She would come on the Amtrak. She would get rides to come to us. She came. She came, y'all. She never left our sides. She never left our sides. And honestly, I needed her so, so bad. Especially in the time when she was so much more active, because me and my mom relationship wasn't uh it is what it is, but God will put people in your life. And when I tell y'all she never missed a beat, that's my lovely Linda. That that was my mama. That was my mama. Um but the one of the last times she came to visit, she ended up going into, being rushed to the emergency room, dealing with her health issues. And so that's when the visit stopped. Which I got it. I understood it. Like, this is serious. I understood it, right? So, um, even then, I sit back now and I'm able to say that if, you know, like, we used to talk, I'm talking about my son finna be 12. Up into the year leading to her passing, because remember, my son went with his dad and his grandma. And God works in mysterious ways, because knowing that was her last year, I'm so thankful. I'm genuinely, with every inch of my heart, y'all, I'm so thankful they was able to wake up and go to sleep with each other within that year. Y'all, I'm so thankful. Yeah, me and the dad had been talking about it, because it was time for him to, get him. We had been talking about it. I was just more so trying to wait for school to get out. But it happened before then, and it's fine. My son woke up to that beautiful woman the last year of her life. And I know they both was proud. His dad used to always say, boy, they'll jump out of a moving car for one another. And he wasn't wrong. He didn't lie. They would have. Ooh, y'all, my baby broke. My baby broke. You'll see her in that casket. So, I had that happen to me, right? And I really began to go into the slots. I didn't want to feel that pain. I'm still having emotions from what Sakaya just did. I didn't want to feel. I did not want to feel it. I didn't want to feel. I didn't want to feel my reality. But one of my triplet sisters, you know, she will always say, that just mean your prayer life should be so much stronger. You don't have all these distractions. Like your prayer life should be. But I didn't want to hear that. I didn't want to hear that either. Now I'm being very honest. And y'all know I come transparent. I ain't finna come make y'all think, baby, life be life with us all. Life is life, right? But so after the when I got back from the funeral, I began to go more. I began to, I'm being very honest, I began to drink cannabis waters. Like, I was in a dark, dark, dark place just all of 2, 3 months ago. It wasn't like to the last month, like the beginning of June. I'm like, what am I doing? Matter of fact, I was driving and he was in the passenger seat. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? You living. I look, baby, I could have put both of us in a ditch, baby. This is not life. I'm miserable. I'm miserable. But I knew that's because what I was doing wasn't living. So, like I say, probably June. June, just something began to change in my spirit. Something began to change in the way I was thinking. I knew it. Like, girl, what you doing? It's girl, you're not getting nowhere. You're not doing what are you doing? And I went in to the slot machine and I wound up hitting, and my mentally I'm like, yes, I finally got it right. But spiritually, it's like, how can you be so happy you hit when all the time I, the Lord, have been provided? You have never lacked. You have never went without. So it was one of those, this is going to be your reality. This is going to be your life. Or you're going to have to accept this isolation season and get with it. And I remember when I walked out of that slot machine for the last time, slot machine that, y'all know the place. I said, Lord, it's in your hand. I said, it's in your hand. Uh, I haven't been drinking the cannabis waters. I had even was taking the PM Tylenols just to sleep and not even feel the hurt from the passing. Like, Ms.Lina was in a very dark place, right? And I say this to say this. If I have not learned anything, don't run. Don't try to use things of this world to help you to cope because you feel so alone, because you feel like no one, don't do it. Ask God to show you. Ask God to bring you clarity. Ask God to give you wisdom in this season. And I can only pray and hope that I didn't spend my entire, because you don't know how long seasons last. I don't know how long I'm going to be here, but I just hope and pray that I didn't spend my isolation season on the things that does not matter now that my eyes are open and I realize like this is an isolation season. God wants to get your attention. There's some things He wants to reveal, some things He wants you to know, and some things He wants to be clarity to you. But you have to get in tune with Him. You have to allow Him to show you these things, right? And God could call me out of this season tomorrow, and I will feel so bad because, yes, I've wasted it. I wasted it. I allowed the enemy to plant the fear in my life. And y'all, to be honest, it's beautiful. This isolation season is so beautiful. It's so peaceful. Y'all, remember I said I used to be scared to stay in the house by myself. I'm not. It's so peaceful. It's so beautiful. Y'all, when I tell y'all isolation, when God puts you in an isolation season, pray for clarity. Y'all listen to me. Don't run and gravitate to the things of this world because you feel like your world has been flipped upside down. Don't do that. Y'all hear me. Please. Y'all don't run in the isolation season. It's beautiful. I promise y'all it's so beautiful here. I just wish that I didn't spend so many months trying to numb the hurt with the things of this world. I can't take that back. God knows. Y'all, this isolation season is so beautiful. And if God was to bring me out of it tomorrow, Lord's will, I will be hurt. I'm going to be honest. I ain't saying, Lord, draw out the isolation, who season, but I don't feel like I got what I've supposed to took from it yet. And that wasn't because God wasn't ready. That was me trying to do everything else. Sitting there looking like a fool, putting my money in the slot machines. Sitting around drinking cannabis water. Um, my Yo, I have so much peace right now. Let me show y'all my living room. Y'all, my home's so peaceful. I'm so thankful. Look at them. Where your brother? There you go. Let me show y'all them. What? But it's peaceful here, y'all. Sit down, Pluto. What? Now, why would you come over? Hold on, y'all. But yeah, y'all, the enemy he would trick you out of your season of rest. The enemy would trick you out of your season of life. He wanted me to feel while my kids going woo woo, baby. Pray and keep it moving. Cause I once too was a unruly adolescent. Me too. God kept me my mama prayers. That's all I could do. Baby, these kids closer to grown than anything. But that's how the enemy gets you. Want you to y'all, my life is peaceful. And all I could do was pray that I did not waste my isolation season. That's all I could do is hope and pray I didn't. And that I still end up getting what it is God want me to have in this season. Y'all, I used to be so afraid to be in a home by myself. Baby, why ain't nobody tell me it was this peaceful? Y'all, it's so peaceful. Uh, and I just thank God that I'm here now. I thank God that I grasped the concept sooner than later. Because if I would have let this opportunity just, uh, we could be so dumb and naive sometimes. Like, girl, but God is faithful. And, whew, y'all just seeing me, how I was going in there purchasing those cannabis waters. You know, at first it was like, oh, I hope don't nobody see me go in there and get it. Then it turned into like, shoot, oh well. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm comfortable. The devil is a liar. This not about to be my reality. I've been delivered from substance control. Like that's not no. Mm-mm. God is faithful and God is a carrier and He will, baby, baby. When I tell you God is, whew. But that's the video, y'all. If you're in the isolation season, pray, ask. And at first, I'm being very honest. At first, it's not going to appear like an isolation season. You're going to be like, why this happening? Why I'm losing this? Why this not working out? Why this? Why this? What? You're not going to realize until you tune in. Like, hey, God is trying to get my attention. Isolation seasons don't come. Isolation seasons don't come knowledgeable at first. No, at first you're gonna feel like the world is against you. You're gonna feel like, what did I do to deserve all this? You're gonna feel alone. You're gonna feel really alone. So alone. So be mindful. Be mindful. If you're in an isolation season and you find yourself going back to the things that you're familiar with, that God has delivered you from, stop right there and check yourself. Like, wait a minute, why do I want to find comfort in the things that I've been delivered from? Why am I using this for comforting purposes? You see what I'm saying? Like, when I was picking up cannabis, it wasn't to party and have a good time. And no, the cannabis water, that was to numb and, try to tune out reality. A study questioning it and asking God, like, hey, why do I feel the need to pick this up? Why am I drawn back to this that you deliver me from? If you find yourself wanting to find comfort in the old things and you genuinely no longer desire them, and for a fact God have delivered you from that, and you're trying to find that to cope with something or find comfort in it, you might be into an isolation season. And it's different for everybody. I'm just speaking on how it was for me. But I know this video gonna be a little lengthy. I'm sorry. But I had to come make it. I had to come make this video. God is faithful. In any season that you are in, God is faithful enough to carry you and bring you through. Seasons change. The human race, we must change as well. We must change as well. And that comes from seasons. You might be in a season of financial blessings, a season of rest, a season of little financial blessings, a season of isolation. But whatever you are in, God knows you need this preparation for your next season. Don't run. Don't run. Ask and pray for clarity. But yeah, y'all, that's the video. I love y'all. Remember, the world needs your positivity. Make somebody smile. Y'all never know who need it. Y'all never know what one is going through. Y'all keep y'all family. Y'all, anybody have a family member that's addicted to gambling. Keep them covered. Y'all keep y'all. It's nobody but the grace of God that I can't sit here and say, oh, I gambled my rent money, or oh, I gambled this money, or I know it was still God giving me like the wisdom to be like, no, don't, don't go in there, don't go in there at all. But as crazy as it sounds, y'all trust me, God was with me. Yes, I was in there spending all my extra money, but it never got. I don't have that story where people be like, man, I put all my I done put a whole work check in there, and I know how that sound because he done told me that before. So I don't have that story, and that wasn't because of me. That's because of God. God, big God. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all later.